Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Superstar SEO Q&A video number 4, Independence Day edition for those of us here in the United States. Today is the 4th of July, or Independence Day, so I won't waste any more of your time. I'm going to jump right in. Quick thing, this was actually going to be my first on-camera Q&A video, but some technical difficulties prevented that, but in the near future, look for seeing my beautiful face on camera. So let's go ahead and get started.
So you want to be a rock superstar and live large, big house, 5 cars, you're in charge.
Okay, question number 1. Best way and or package of services to rank a new site. Brand new and or very limited SEO previously done. Okay, so the first, I'm not going to recommend specific services because you can find those in my group, but the first thing you want to do is build out social profiles. I'm going to tackle this from the point of view that it's like a local type site and not an affiliate type site. So what you're going to do is build like a couple hundred social profiles around it. Call it a social fortress or trust barrier or whatever you want to call it. And then from there, you're going to want to hit it with some branded and URL links, maybe like a SendWire blast or some citations. It just depends on what you're doing. And then once you get all that in place, you can do some social signals along with that as well. Once you get all that in place, then you want to start with the PBN links and go from there. So if you're in the group, you can find some recommended services in there, or you can just hit me up. So that answers that. Great, I was about to ask a question anyway. You're welcome. What is the difference between a SendWire blast and a social signals package other than the quantity of social posts? Okay, so the difference, and I made a video on this a while back that I'll link to in the comments, but the difference between something like a SendWire blast or Source Machine or something like that and social signals is it's night and day, really. SendWire and similar tools make posts on social media, so they'll make a bunch of posts on various Twitter accounts and various WordPress.com accounts and whatever. Social signals are when a single URL gets posted to Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Google+, Pinterest, whatever, and then shared, repinned, +1, retweeted, all those different types of things. The actual sharing and liking and retweeting and so on, that's the social signal. So, and those are more valuable. So look at it like this. Anybody can post to get a free Twitter account and post to Twitter, even if they get a bunch of them. But what's valuable is that post being shared and liked and getting engagement. That's what tells Google that this is important content and will reward it with ranking. So the difference being a post, stuff from SendWire is a post, which also is valuable because it builds multiple backlinks and shows that people are posting about it. But then those posts getting shared, liked, retweeted, and so on are what tells Google that people are interested in this content that's been posted. So hopefully that makes sense. And like I said, I'll link to the video where I explain that in more depth. How does a business land in a 3-pack when it doesn't have a website? If they build out their social profiles and things like that, build out citations, and have a nice web presence, they can rank in the 3-pack without a website. That generally means that the competition for that particular 3-pack isn't very high, though. So if it's something you want to go after, you can definitely snipe that. I want to follow up on one thing I saw in this led to a discussion, and I want to follow up on one comment that I saw on it, is that organic ranking doesn't affect map ranking, and that is absolutely not true. While it alone is not a factor, or it's one of the factors, it's not the only or main factor, but it does matter. Like, the anchor text that you point to your site is going to help rank you in Google Maps, especially exact match anchor text, because that's how you're telling it what particular map you want to rank for. So there is some influence from organic listing on map listings, so just to clear that up. In your video mastery webinar, does the placing of the location at the beginning of the keyword apply to cities only, or can you do that for countries? Okay, so the location is part of the keyword. So if we're talking about Dallas roofer is the keyword. If you wanted to rank for Slovenia roofer, I think Slovenia is a country, then you would put Slovenia roofer. So I guess the answer to your question is you can put whatever you want. If you're targeting a city, state, country, planet, whatever. If you want to put Mars roofer, that seems like it wouldn't be a very good business model, but if that's your keyword, then so be it. So, yeah, you can put whatever you want. The geo modifier, which means the city, your state, or country, or planet, or whatever, is part of the keyword, just to be clear. What is your favorite old school wrestler? For me, it's between Jake the Snake and British Bulldog. Wow, this is a deep one. We're going to have to spend some time on this. My first instinct is to say Hulk Hogan, because as a kid, he's who I looked up to and who I had the most of the LJN wrestling figures of, and I don't know, he was always my favorite. I've never been like a lot of people and like wanted to root for the underdog, so I've always liked the like larger than life type characters like him. So the simple answer is Hulk Hogan. The next one would be Sting. Actually, I think it was 1988. I went for Halloween as Sting. It was a really bad costume. If I can find a picture of it, I'll post it and embarrass myself. But yeah, I would have to say it's between Hulk Hogan and Sting if we're talking from like my particular childhood. If you want to move that up to like the 90s, and I kind of dropped out in the 90s with the whole NWO and all of that sort of thing. And then a little later than that, I used to be a big fan of Chris Benoit, but he turned out to be a really bad person, and I'm not interested. I can't go back and watch his stuff without knowing what he did. So I guess we'll go with Hulk Hogan and with Sting. I was there when Sting went into the Hall of Fame a couple of years ago, and it was very nice. I got to see him and meet him and stuff, and I was like a little kid. And the same with Hulk Hogan back in when he came back to WWE in 2002. I went to a SmackDown in Charlotte, North Carolina, and he was there, and I felt like, again, a little kid. I wanted to like not cry, but like, I don't know. I just got really excited because it was my first time seeing him, and I've been watching him for 20, 25 years or whatever at that point. So, man, I feel old now. So yeah, just to sum up, Hulk Hogan and Sting. Because I know you'll just love this type of question, LOL. Well, thank you for being considerate. If you lost everything you had, kind of like your Facebook, but on a bigger scale, and just let me interrupt this question at this point. What he's talking about here is I got locked out of my personal Facebook that I've had since 2007 recently, and I'm still working with them to get back into it. It's not looking great. I didn't do anything wrong. They're just like, fuck you, pardon my language. Fuck you, you're not getting back in. So that's what that's about. So everything. And you had to start over and didn't have your name, brand to just jump right back into it. What would you put more effort into towards first to make the most money? First thing I would do would be establish enough money to live off of and establish a base. And the way I would do that would be basically what I did the first time. I would just get there faster. I would sell SEO services on Conquer or Fiverr or SEO Clerks or Upwork. I would do jobs on Upwork as well, like other more involved jobs, and I would just try to get clients. Like I would just start over again. Like I would do the same thing I did. I would just cut out some of the mistakes, so I wouldn't mess around with affiliate or like less shiny objects. But goal number one would be to establish enough money to live off of, and then scale from there into bigger projects, bigger courses, software, more powerful services, so on. So hopefully that answers that question. Would it be okay to turn a rank and rent website into a workhorse project? So I think what you mean by this is you're building out a directory and you just want to cut out the pain in the ass of building out all the different, again, pardon my language. If you get offended by profanity, this may not be the channel for you. I'm not going to Alex Becker you and say fuck every other word, but I am also not going to monitor my speech that closely. So back to the question. Would it be okay to turn a rank and rent website into a workhorse project? And I guess what you're wanting to do is create a bunch of possible cities and states or whatever to rank for. And I would say, yeah, I think it's perfectly fine. The only thing I would caution is that sometimes these mass page sites, they are a bit more turn and burn than if you did it manually. But at the same time, you can pick off rankings really quickly and go ahead and rank and rent them without having to actually, build PBNs and basically build up the site and do SEO to it. So yeah, I think it's okay. Last question. How do you meet the trade-off between diversifying your income source to minimize the risk and staying focused? you could now do one more mega site, work on getting one more client, rank on one more site on a ClickBank product, no AdSense, or ranking more YouTube videos, or this or that. How do you decide your next move? Okay, so the first thing is to find what works and do as much of it as you can. So scale that as far as you can and use it as best as you can, and don't ignore it once it's doing well. So continue to build. From there, you just have to have a long-term vision of what you want your business to be. Part of the problem with SEOs and internet marketers is we just pick different ways to make money here, make money there, but you need to have a long-term roadmap. And this was something I struggled with until recently. But basically, you pick where you want to get, and then you reverse engineer it, the steps that you need to get there, and focus on that as long as your base is solid and you're still making your money from what you need to live on and what you need to fund where you want to go. And don't ignore it or neglect it. So, and get systems in place to manage it. So I guess what I'm saying is, don't just throw a dartboard on one of the things you listed or whatever. Have a plan for where you want to get, or have a vision for where you want to be, and have a plan to get there, and have that everything that you do every day work a little bit closer to that. So hopefully that answers that question for you. That's all the questions we had for today. It's a pretty light question, probably due to the holiday here in the States. So if you want to contribute some questions, or you have anything, you can join us in our private Facebook mastermind at superstarseo.com/Facebook. And I'm going to shamelessly plug my course that's coming out on July 10th. It's going to take you A to Z from how to rank in Google Maps. So that is superstarseo.com/superstarmapsmastery. Thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button below to keep getting more videos like this and some more great training and content. And I'll talk to you soon. Have a great day.